My name is Isaac. I've worked the night shift at the Hub 74 monitoring station for 6 years. Most people think a job like this is exciting, listening for signals from the stars, waiting for a hello from another world. But the reality is much quieter. It's mostly just heat signatures from dying stars and the rhythmic pulsing of the deep space arrays. It's a lonely job, but it's quiet, or it was until Tuesday. It was 2:30 a.m. That's the dead zone of the shift. The body starts to protest the lack of sunlight, and the brain starts to play tricks on you in the shadows of the server racks. I was checking the long-range sensor logs when a spike hit the monitors. It wasn't high frequency. It wasn't a pulsar. It was a narrow-band transmission on a frequency that hasn't been used since the early 90s. I looked at the telemetry. The source was high Earth orbit, Sector 7G. Now you have to understand something about Sector 7G. It's empty. No decommissioned weather satellites. No Starlink clusters. No space debris bigger than a bolt. It's just void. But the signal was coming from right in the center of it. It was a rhythmic, mechanical clicking. Click, 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 click. Like a heartbeat, but colder. Metal hitting metal. I did a cross-check with the debris trackers. Nothing. I checked the classified military registry. Still nothing. My monitor showed a perfect empty black square where the signal was supposed to be, but the audio was loud enough to vibrate the glass on my desk. I should have logged it and waited for the morning crew. That's the protocol. But in the middle of a 12-hour shift, when you're sick and the room is freezing, protocol feels like a suggestion. I opened a direct uplink. I decided to ping the source to see if I could get a response, maybe a hardware handshake from an old piece of Soviet junk that had drifted off course. I typed the command, ping 07-G. I waited. I expected the screen to time out. I expected to see host unreachable. Instead, the terminal went dark. Every light in the monitoring room flickered and died. For 3 seconds, I was in absolute blackness, listening to the clicking sound getting faster through my headphones. Then the monitor flared to life. It didn't show code. It didn't show a system error. Character by character, in a blocky green font that looked older than I am, a message appeared. Isaac, why did you stop the music? My blood went cold. I've never told anyone my name at this station. We use call signs. I looked at the audio analyzer. The signal had changed. It was no longer clicking. It was playing a melody, faint, distorted, and buried under layers of cosmic hiss. I recognized it. It was Bach, specifically a recording from the Voyager Golden Record, the greeting we sent out in 1977. I checked the relay logs. The transmission wasn't coming from Sector 7G. It was being reflected through it. Something billions of miles away was using an invisible point in our own orbit to talk back to us. It was using the Voyager's own encryption. It was throwing our own hello back in our faces, but it had stripped away the warmth. The music sounded wrong, like it was being played on instruments made of bone and vacuum. I tried to shut down the array. I tried to pull the physical power cables, but the system wouldn't respond. The terminal started typing again. It wasn't talking about the stars anymore. It was typing a list of names. My mother, my father, my grandmother, people who have been in the ground for a decade. It knew their birth dates. It knew their final words. It was like the satellite was reading my own subconscious like a hard drive. Then the audio changed again. The music stopped. There was a sound like a heavy door opening on rusted hinges. And then the breathing started. It's a wet, rhythmic sound. In, out, in, out. It sounds like it's coming from the speakers, but when I take my headphones off, I can still hear it. It's coming from the vents. It's coming from the empty chair in the corner of the room. I'm looking at the monitor now. The cursor is moving on its own. It's typing a ledger. It has my name at the bottom. Underneath it, it just typed, estimated arrival, 3:14. I looked at the clock. It's 3:13. The lights in the hallway just went out. If you're finding this log in the Hub 74 archives, don't look for Sector 7G. Don't ping the ghost, because once you acknowledge them, they acknowledge you back.